Today is November the 6th, 2015. My name is Tanya Finchum, along with Alex Bishop. We're with Oklahoma State University. Today we are in McAlester, Oklahoma, to speak with Sam Goode, and this is part of our Oklahoma 100-Year Life project. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Can you tell me?
I'd have felt better if I felt better.
Can you tell me your birthday?
February 27th, 1915.
And where were you born?
Poto. It's a little town just, it's not around Poto. It's not Poto, but it's just a little town there close to, you might say, joins it. I can't think of the name of it. And I moved up here they moved up here when I was a year old.
Okay.
To McAlester.
And what did your parents do for a living?
Ever since I was born, they farmed. I don't know what, my grandpa was kind of a rancher, you know, they dealt in dealing, trading and buying cattle and stuff like that and selling them. Grandpa Goode did. But Grandpa Battles, he was all of it, ranching, farming, and lawyer, and I mean, police, you might say.
Were they from Oklahoma?
From Oklahoma?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, now Goode, I guess he moved into Oklahoma. I think he was raised in the East. Came across on a ship and settled there, and then gradually moved in this way, moved east.
Okay.
And see, I think Dad had 3 brothers, 2 sisters. He was the last to go. They all lived around here at one time and pulled out, of course, the better pasture, you know.
Well, where did you go to school?
I started in at Ashland. Freshman in high school. I went to Cordell. We moved out there. Dad was working out there at the gym. We went out there. Then moved back down here. I made that cabinet, that thing right there when I was a freshman. That thing's about 85 years old.
You like to work with wood?
Well, that was one of my subjects. Yeah. And of course I had the other in school, but originally I was a carpenter too. I've been everything, nothing.
And your dad worked with the cotton gin?
Huh?
Your dad worked with the cotton gin?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to pick cotton?
I didn't like to pick, but I like to pull bowls. Yeah, I've made quite a bit of money at 25 cents a hundred. Shoot.
You grew up on a farm?
Huh?
You grew up on a farm?
Yeah.
Have to milk cows?
Oh yeah. Yeah. All farm work.
Did you farm with a horse or a tractor?
Huh?
Did you farm with a horse?
A horse, and after I married, I bought me a tractor. I bought a place, and finally I sold it. And let's see, There's 1 year that I was doing good. I bought a place and had some cattle, and I did all right on the farm. But 1 year, the worst part of farming, you didn't have everything you made, you put it back, you know. Boy, that year I didn't make one crying penny. I went in the hole. So I called up. The government war was going on, you know. I was getting out of it. I told him, I said, well, I tell you what, I can't farm no more. Not till I get some money. I'm going to work at the Navy. So I come over there and I worked through a year. Well, it's kind of funny. I found out that farming wasn't no easy way to make money.
What did you do for the Navy?
Inventory. And all we inventoried our old buildings, ammunition dealers, checked on it, and that's what it was.
Here?
No, right here in McAlester. That's the big Navy. It was out here in Savannah. That big. It still is out there.
The ammunition.
Yeah.
Oh, ammunition?
Huh?
Ammunition.
Ammunition depot. That's right.
You didn't serve in the military because you were farming?
No.
Right.
And I never, when I went back there, I came to McAlester, started doing carpenter work. And I did that. Finally, went to work for Hudgens Construction. That way I had the cash price wages all the time. And I went with him along. I built a lot of homes under him. And it was some in McAlester, other places, a lot of schools. And I don't know.
You were good with your hands?
Huh?
You were good with your hands? You were good with your hands?
Well, yeah. I'd have to say that carpenter was my best occupation. It was easy, you know what I mean. There was no real heavy work. When the heavy work come, there was more men there to do it, you know, to help. But that's from there. Well, I did that till I was pretty old, and when I'd carry a load of shingles up on the house, I could tell it. It began to hurt, you know.
Yeah.
So I went out to hospital, and there's a new boss out there, Donnell, and he is hiring some men to go to work out there, and I went out to put my application in. Well, it happened to be that there's another man working there at the hospital with assistants. I asked him, I'd like to stay, I was out there to get a hold of Donnell if I could. He took me to him. I told him what I was after. I asked him about the job. He didn't want to know what I was doing. A carpenter. He said, well, why you want the job out here with you were doing the carpentry work? How long you been doing it? I told him. He said, well, why? And I was getting up pretty old then. I said, well, I'll just be plain with you. It's getting to where the heavy work and the carpenter work was getting me down fast. Like carrying shingles or lifting it. And I said, I'm just looking for a good job. I had plenty to do and more just do it with my hands, feet. So he hired me. And I was with him. Oh, he's building a hospital, and he was a hospital administrator. Finally, he says, Rex, I want to put you on a different job. I said, what's that? He said, I want you to take over the maintenance. I kicked out. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, I'm not no doctor. I'm not no nurse. Very little I know about a lot of stuff in the hospital. He said, well, I know, but he says, you can learn it. And so I stayed with him. He finally went to do Ardmore and built a hospital out there. And some of the boys went with him, but I stayed here. And I stayed with that until I retired. And
What?
so Social Security was my life from now on, except if I wanted to make a little dollar or two, I'd get out, you know, and if I needed a soda pop, I could go make a nickel and pay for it. So that's just about my life until I got out here.
What year did you retire?
Well, let's see, I retired 65.
So 1980.
About 20 years ago.
1980. What year did you graduate from high school? 30 something, but
What year?
34, 35?
34, I think it was. Yeah,
Did you play basketball?
yeah, football, baseball,
All of it, huh?
yeah. I had a chance to go to football and basketball. Go to Durant College, but I passed it up. I thought I wished, you know, in 34, boy, a quarter in your pocket was good, and there wasn't nowhere you couldn't find one. You had to look a long time and then work hard for it.
Depression.
But I don't regret any of that right there, because mother passed away when I was a senior. And when I was say Dad, we bashed it, Dad and I. But I helped him. I worked on the farm just like he did. And in the summer, I was there all the time, you know. And so That was a job, and there wasn't no money in it either, just a living, barely a living. I don't know. That was when the times was rough.
During the Depression?
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. But we made it.
What?
That's when I started getting jobs on the side,
Like what?
carpenter work, just pedal jobs, build a little thing or something like that. I really didn't get into the construction of a lot of it, just fixing something, you know. Dad, he was kind of that way too, and we both of us would work together. We'd get a half a day's work and make $1 a piece. Well, that's the truth. I worked a many a day for $1, $1. If you don't believe it, just ask somebody else that's raised like I was, and everybody else that it didn't have no occupation of it during those days.
Well, what would you do for fun?
Oh, I didn't go then like they do now. Fish, hunt, play ball, stuff like that. Go see my girl every Saturday, didn't I?
I guess I don't know if he's married yet or not. I'm not good at keeping up with dates.
What would you do? Go dancing?
Huh?
Would you go dancing?
No, I didn't then. But after I'm married, I got to dancing, and I still got the shoes I wore out. You don't believe it, do you? You don't believe they're wore out? Them the first feeling shoes I ever had. We danced in them too.
Well, have you been married one time or twice?
Uh-huh.
Where were you? Have you been married one time or twice?
Twice.
How did you meet your first wife?
Huh?
How did you meet your first wife?
Went to school, the same school, for day one. On the day we went, they go to the same day as when we moved to Cardell. We graduated at high school at Kiowa together.
Where?
Kiowa.
Kiowa.
It's down here.
What was her name?
Huh?
What was her name?
O'Daniel, Cliffy O'Daniel.
Cliffy?
O'Daniel.
And how many years were you married to her?
Huh?
How many years was that marriage?
I guess it's about 60.
Did you have children?
One. He lives in Tulsa now. That's the one I got straightened up.
That's his boy's picture up there.
Did he play basketball?
Uh-huh. Yeah. There he is, right up there. There's his picture. Right up there.
He kind of looks like you.
This is his
Yeah.
mother and daddy right up here.
That's right. They... Altogether, I can't complain on my life. This right here messed our lives all, toward all.
We thought we had it made.
Now you were married a second time. You're currently married, right?
You know, that's kind of funny. I've known that girl ever since she was about that big, you know. And her daddy and family and all. Of course, I was up about like here. Well, I lost my wife. It's 2 years, and she'd lost her husband 3 years. we run together somehow. Oh yeah, I know how we got together too.
That's good.
I went to dance out there, old folks dance, every Saturday night. I went in, and there she sat with her friend, her married friend, and I never noticed her. Got about to having to think. So I went back and talked to her, and was laughing, cutting. I told her, I said, we'll dance in a minute. They hadn't started. She said, I never said, this is the first dance I'd ever been.
And did you
I
dance?
said, this is the first dance you'll ever dance in. Well, we did. She didn't want to, and I kept on. I said, well, I won't dance the way I dance. I'll stay the way I told you. Well, I danced a time or two. She kind of liked that.
He's a good dancer.
So,
And I didn't even know how.
next Saturday, I went to the dance, and lo and behold, there she was. And just one thing led to another.
And what's her name?
Huh?
And what's her name?
Her, Marion,
Marion.
yeah. So, the way,
How
But-
did you talk her into marrying you?
I think that just happened. I don't know. But I refereed the ball game. She played the basketball game.
Oh.
Well, at that time, I was just trying to help her along, and one thing we just kept on, so we started dating. And first thing you know, we were married.
So you used to be a referee?
Huh?
You used to be a high school referee or a grade school referee?
Yeah, high school. Yeah, I recall there at Ashland, some at Kiowa and Stewart, and Savannah, around, It's
Did you ever have any games you remember?
huh?
You have any stories from being a referee?
No, I never did have any trouble.
Make any bad calls?
Well, I never did. I could always go back. I never did.
You got
Of course, a referee, you're going to hear those little things. But you can't. You just go on referee and forget it. You don't say or nothing. And I always called it just like I saw it.
Basketball's changed a lot.
Huh?
Basketball's changed a lot. The game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, those auditorium was full. Yeah. We liked one game going to the state tournament that year. Year I graduated. When you go to getting in there, you get to just hit bigger schools. There we was, little place going to school, hit Atoka. They always had a big team. They couldn't do it. We played them twice, and that would beat us. They didn't run away with us, but times I actually get thinking about it and think that we could have won if we'd have really been thinking a lot better.
What position did you play?
Put it forward. There wasn't too much in those days. Use every position. You know what? If there's something happened and the other man had it, It was what his yours some other. He wasn't your man. If he had the ball, get him. That's, but this right here is just, I don't know.
Well, when you were refereeing, did you get paid?
$2, I think, something like that.
So you did it for fun?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I never did have any trouble with coaches. You know that, and I never did have trouble.
Do you have a black and white shirt?
Huh?
Where's your
No,
shirt?
no, no.
Him and his wife run the little
Huh?
hamburger stand up there just outside the school grounds.
She said you and your first wife ran a hamburger stand.
Yeah, at the school. Yeah, they had a couple lived there at the schoolhouse, put in a hamburger joint, you know, because of the school kids. And so, I don't remember, it seemed like they moved away from that place somewhere. And so they come up to the house, we visited once in a while. They come up to the house, they said, ask my wife, Cliffy, would she be interested in running that hamburger shop? She said, well, yeah. She said, well, you can have it if you want it, you can take it over. And so they got what they wanted out of it, and we put in, and I guess we run that 2 year.
Do you recall
Huh?
Do you recall the name of it?
Huh?
Do you recall the name?
Did it what?
Did you have a name for the business?
No.
Nah,
No.
nah. They said, but when when he got out of there, he went to Durant, went down to school, made a teacher, and went to Tulsa, started teaching up there and stayed up there till he got a different job though on something up there at Tulsa and was in it a long time.
His name was Darrell.
Huh?
What was his name?
Darrell Wayne.
Darrell.
Well, did you have brothers and sisters?
Huh?
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
3 brothers and 3 sisters.
And where were you in the lineup?
The very last one.
Were you the
Wait a
baby?
minute. I had 3 brothers and 4 sisters. I had 3 brothers and 3. Well, that's right. 7. There's 4 of us. That's right.
So were you the baby? Were you the oldest?
No, I was next to the baby.
The baby.
That's the one I haven't heard from in a long time. And I wanted to get a hold of the one, my son, if I can. And somehow, and I think he's up there somewhere.
Well, how would your mother do your laundry for that many?
Huh?
How did your mother do laundry for that many?
She had 3 daughters.
They did it. Did they help cook too?
Yeah. Yeah. She didn't live long.
What did she die from?
Cancer. Yeah.
What was the favorite thing she made you to eat?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's pretty hard to put a favorite on it. She was a good cook.
Was she?
But actually, the last few years, the girls all, They did. They were good. All three of them was good cooks. The oldest one, she took me when I was little. She just about took me over. I stayed with her about as much as I did at home.
This is her picture.
How much older was she than you?
There she is. That was my favorite,
What's her name?
Hazel.
Hazel. Oh, she's got a big fish.
Yeah, she went out there and I thought it was in California, but somebody told me it was in Arizona and caught that thing.
It's about as big as she
Huh?
is. It's as big as she is.
Yeah. I just see her. She wouldn't have let it. She got a. I'll bet money she didn't have a thing. She didn't have a bit of help till she got it on the bank, up to the bank. She wouldn't. I'll get it. I'll catch it. I've heard that. Yeah.
Very independent, huh?
Yeah. And she was a fisherman. And her kids, they're here now. Her daughter and her granddaughter out here on the lake. No, they're not here. They left day before yesterday, I guess it was. But they was here for over a week.
They live in New Mexico.
And they come twice a year, spring and fall, fish this lake. They go by. They got one of those refrigerator, you know, they're about so wide and up about square, you know. They bring that thing, put that on. They go take it back plumb full of dressed fish, and slaves filleted off, packaged in, take it back to Mexico.
They share any with you?
Oh, well, not this year they didn't. We wasn't able to, but up until then, they'd bring us fish and we'd go out there and eat a big fish meal, you know. But
Did you fish?
yeah, I like to fish, but I can't fish now.
Were you here in McAlester when they built the prison?
No, I lived here in McAlester, but that prison, ever since I remember, that prison was there, you know.
Even when you were little?
I think I think they built onto it, but that's a cash prize for McAlester. A lot of people worked there.
Not someplace you wanted to work?
No, I didn't care about it.
Did McAlester have a movie theater back when you were little?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The first of that Dad and Mother and I went up there. I was just little. Jack wasn't even with me. I wasn't born. And I was young, boy. And Dad told me how to go, and I went in there and sat down. And Dad, he went out, and then he got to thinking, he'd seen one. Said, I bet he might get scared. And so a little while he just kept on, so he come back and hunted me up and said I was still the only one in there in the theater though at that time. And when that thing come on, it did scare me. Back then, you know, it just felt, I didn't know what in the world. I was proud he got back. I'd probably left out. I don't know. But nobody, no man, nobody on that. It was just a thing on advertising and I was real young.
Was it a silent movie?
Huh?
Was it a silent movie?
A what?
Silent.
No, it was a good Western. You know, it wasn't bad or anything like that. A lot of laughs in it, I remember. Jack wasn't born then. I was about, I guess, 4 or 5, I don't know.
Did you have a favorite subject in high school?
No, it was all hard for me.
Woodworking?
No, I didn't flunk, but I didn't make a real good grades either.
But you graduated.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first car?
First what?
Car?
Yeah, it was a pickup. Yeah, that's when I had been married. I didn't have a pickup car till I was married. After marriage.
How old were you when you got married?
I think I liked a few days of being 21. It wasn't, I was between 20 and 21.
Well, did you ever think you would make it to 100?
Huh?
Did you ever think you would make it to 100?
That never crossed my mind.
Anybody in your family ever make it close to 100? Or live to be 100?
If that brother of mine, if he's still alive, he's right at it. He's 96, 5, 6, somewhere in there, maybe 7. I know I was 2 or 3 years older than him. But I don't know whether he's still alive or not.
How old was your father?
I don't really know, but he was old.
In the 80s or so?
Yeah, he's up in his 80s. He's way.
What do you think your secret is?
My secret. Now that's a heck of a question, you know. Did you teach her that? I'll tell you.
Is blowing that whistle.
Huh?
It was blowing that whistle.
No.
He
know.
met people easy and he
You know-
liked to have fun and he just got under people's skin, He just got along with everybody.
What is your secret?
What, yeah?
What is your secret to living so long?
What?
Well, what is your secret to a long life? To living long?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I was a clean living boy. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke till I was up in age,
You
in teens, higher. I didn't start young, and I quit. And I like to eat. I didn't drink. I used to say, I'd take a drink with anybody if I knew him, But a sup, a sup was a drink for me. I got drunk twice in my life. One did it first time, a couple of boys bought some and we went to a big party, supposed to be a party, and it turned out to be a dance. And so they go buy a pint, about every 15 minutes. Let's go outside. Here they go. They'd go out and go. I just take a sup the first time, like that. So they saw they wasn't they're gonna get drunk before I got drunk. So they kind of got to forcing it a little bit. Oh, I got drunk. Taking me though, I just bumped it all over the back of his car.
I guess you cleaned it up.
Yeah. Next morning, he had to get up early and clean. Morris had to go to church. Morris, his mother and dad made him get up and clean that car. And he had to drive to church with no windows open.
What about the second time?
Well, the second time was a little different. It was out of half a gallon jar. McAlester, there's about four, the car was full. And I kept a supping and a supping and a supping. Rex, you haven't drank any whiskey at all. They kept on. They quit drinking and just kept hammering it to me, But I didn't get that drunk that time. But that's the only two. I never did drink much.
Was church an important part of your growing up?
Huh?
Was church an important part growing up?
Well, when Mother was alive, we went to church every night. I didn't go to Sunday school too much. I usually went to the night churches. The league, the Methodist League, sung and had a message preaching.
What church?
Baptist. Baptist was my mother's folks. There. I don't remember where. No, I believe she was Cynthia they were Church of Christ, and I went to Church of Christ with her. I'd take her, but I finally joined the Church of Christ after I married her.
Did you sing in the choir?
Huh? Well, I could sing.
You could.
Huh?
You could sing.
Yeah, I could sing. I could sing, but they didn't have a choir. They just had a. They were in the front rows, and everybody, there's the whole building sung,
Do you remember any of them?
No. I know one that I really liked it. I don't know it, I can't remember the name. But I really like that song. I can't remember it. I can't remember the name of it.
Can you remember a few of the words?
I don't.
Oh, how did you celebrate your 100th birthday?
Huh?
How did you celebrate your 100th birthday?
Right here.
We got a big cake and a lot of friends and presents and
They got me in. They didn't, you know, of course I got out, but they kept me here for about a month. Oh, there's a crowd here.
Had cake?
Huh?
Had a cake?
yeah.
A lot of everything.
A lot of everything.
I'll tell
It's
you.
a big dinner.
It's,
Well, what's a typical day like for you?
What's a typical day like for you now? What time do you get up?
all the way from
When we want to, till we
9 or
want to.
10 till 1.
And then what time do you go to bed?
Usually go to bed pretty early, about 7.
You know, you get tired. of
7
doing
pretty
nothing.
about average, I imagine.
When it gets dark?
Huh?
When it gets dark?
Yeah.
What do you do during the day?
Sit. All we can do. Can't get out.
Read?
Huh?
Do you read?
Oh, I sit down once in a while and read the Bible, not much.
Watch television?
Oh, yeah.
Watch thunder.
Watch the thunder?
I like, when I can get them, and they got a little competition, that's pretty hard to find a game where they've got it. I watch that thunder. Yeah, I really enjoy it, but I like a good basketball game. Anybody, it don't make any difference if it's a good game, not a runaway. I don't like a runaway.
Do you pull for OSU or OU?
OU's my favorite. Which one you?
The one that pays my check.
Yeah. Well, I can yell against you.
Yes, you can.
I don't blame you for yelling.
What did you?
No, I always liked OU. Of course, back younger, football, they were so strong in football and everything.
Ever go to a game?
Never did go to a college game. Just a TV.
Well, did you travel much?
No, not too much. We went up in Colorado. We had some folks up in California, Texas, and just places to visit friends and family.
Do you remember seeing your first airplane?
No, I don't.
Well, did the circus come through town much?
Huh?
Did the circus come through town much?
Mm-mm. I asked them what they didn't pull one very much. A small town like that. Now we come up to McAlester to see the circus. You know.
Odd sound.
Do you have anything on your bucket list? Anything you want to do that you've never done before?
Huh? Do what?
Is there something on your list that you want to do that you haven't done before?
Nah.
I have. Just Go back
Too old to even think about it. A lot of things I haven't done, but I don't.
The only thing that I want now, between now and then, is to go back home.
When it gets to where you have to use a cane, you don't think of things like that much.
What's your favorite thing to eat?
Huh?
What's your favorite thing to eat?
I guess just put it on the table.
Not fried chicken?
No, oh, I like chicken, but I like steak.
Did your mother have chickens?
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. I wring the neck. I'd go out there and wring her neck off. Did you ever wring chicken neck?
No.
Yeah. Oh, boy,
It's not a very pleasant.
it's not hard. Just 2 or 3 jerks if you had him right around the end of his head like that, and it'd just pop off. And then the flopping that take place.
It was just different life, wasn't it?
Huh?
It's just a different way of
Oh
life.
yeah, oh yeah.
Well, how would you do bath time?
Huh?
How would you do bath time?
Bath.
Mm-hmm.
Well, usually in a wash tub. In the smokehouse. We called it a smokehouse out there. Rock floor. Shoot fire. Heat the
Smoking
water.
hogs.
If it was
Yeah.
cold, if it was wintertime it was in the house, but the biggest part of the time when it was warm, it was out there. And sometime at night and after it got dark.
How often?
Lord, I don't know.
More than once a week?
Depends on what you're doing in the
Well,
day.
in the daytime, I mean in the summertime, it's usually about every day. Swimming and we get a lot of swimming then, you know.
How
In it, we lived in Cordell. We had a bathtub, you know, and everything then. That's 2 and 3 times a week.
how often would you get a new pair of shoes?
Huh?
How often would you get a new pair of shoes? When you were a kid, how often?
When they wore out.
Oh, when they were-
You know. See over there. Are they back there now? Guess they were. I
Anyway,
don't know where they are. That's three or four more pair around here somewhere.
Would your mother make your clothes?
Huh?
Did your mother make your clothes? Did your mother sew your clothes?
No, I don't think so. Ever since I can remember, she bought them little shirts and Hazel saw to that.
Sounds like she spoiled you.
Huh?
Hazel spoiled you?
No. I'd go stay in the summer a lot of times. But I'll tell you what, a person, anybody as good to a kid as she was, it it would spoil, ain't no two ways about it. And when she first married, it just a little over a quarter of a mile down the lane to where they lived, you know. I'd step off and go down there. She'd see me coming here, she'd come and run it.
What would you do for Christmas?
Huh?
What would you do for Christmas?
Oh, old Sandy had always filled the sock up.
What would be in the sock?
Huh?
With what? What would be in the sock?
A little pistol, candy, and I don't know what all that.
Would you have fruit?
Huh?
Fruit?
Yeah, I like fruit.
Would you have a tree?
Hmm?
Would you have a Christmas tree?
Yeah, sometimes. Not when I can't remember when I was little having one.
Well, when history is written, what would you like it to say about you?
Hmm?
When history is written, what would you like it to say about you? How do you want to be remembered?
What was he said?
How do you want to be remembered?
Honest. That's about it. That's of course, there's other things that's more than that. I would just say honest. I want her to remember I love her. Huh?
That's good.
You know.
And you know I love you.
Huh?
I said, and you know I love you.
Can't hear.
She said she loves you too.
Oh,
He can't understand my tone, so I don't know why. He wants to know why I changed it, and I told him I hadn't changed.
but as a whole, that's what I'm talking. Say the community. Remembered in the community is honesty. Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
Huh?
That's pretty good. Well, thank you for being honest with me today.
Well.
I enjoyed your stories.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed your stories.
Yeah. Thank you.